Yes, can anybody tell me what is determinate and what is indeterminate? Have you heard this words?
Fixed, ma'am.
What fixed? Sheikh Ahmed. What fixed?
Determinates mean.
Determinate means fixed. Okay, not exactly right, but fine. Any other answer?
Ma'am, whose reactions can be calculated?
Whose reactions can be calculated? Yes. Who is this? I just my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Shrishti, right? And now
Yes, ma'am.
I am displaying the syllabus copy, but I just displayed it. I just wanted to still discuss on determinate and indeterminate structures. Srishti was right. Then we find the reactions, right? So now to find when you are doing beam analysis, or when you wanted to draw shear force bending moment diagram, what was your first step? When I give you a beam, say one side it was hinged, one side it was roller, and I asked you to draw the shear force bending moment diagram for the particular beam. So how do you start it?
First, we used to calculate the reactions, ma'am.
Correct. First, you used to calculate the reactions. Very good. You draw the free body diagram and then you start with the reactions. When you want to find the reactions, what is your first step? I mean, there are three equations we use, right? So what are the equations that you use to find the reactions?
Summation of fx,
Yes.
summation of fy, and summation of movement.
Movement equal to zero. Absolutely right. We used to, the general procedure is, all of you are aware of this, whether it is diploma or non-diploma students, all of you have written strength of materials paper also. So the general procedure when we are finding the reactions is you will be using summation f of x, summation f of y, and summation m equal to 0. What is the summation fx, fy, and m? These three are called as the three equations of equilibrium. Correct. So we have studied when we were studying engineering mechanics first semester for the POC students, and engineering mechanics is also studied by uh, diploma students in your diploma colleges, right? When you got a diploma degree. So there also second or first semester you study engineering mechanics. Here also these three are called as equations of equilibrium. Summation fx means all horizontal forces, summation f of y means all vertical forces, and summation m means all the moments about a particular point. We are equating them to zero and trying to get the unknowns. So when you did this first step in your beams for drawing SFD BMD, using these three equations, we were able to find the number of unknowns. Correct? So it was not like, say I give you a beam with both ends hinged. How many unknown reactions I will have? Any idea? Say I will just open up a paint over here to give you a brief example. I will say you have a beam like this and both the ends I'm going to give you hinge. Okay, how many reactions you will have?
Two reactions, ma'am.
This side two reactions. And if both the sides it is hinged, how many total number of reactions?
4, ma'am.
Four.
Four.
Have you solved this type of example in your strength of materials?
No, ma'am.
What were the total number of reactions maximum you did for unknown?
Two, ma'am.
Two, ma'am.
Two? Only two? If I give you a
Sometimes
cantil,
three.
three. If I give you
Sometimes
a cantil,
three.
yeah, correct. Always it is three, not two. Always it is three in SOM when you studied. If I give you a cantilever beam, don't go on my drawing. Next class onwards, I'll be using a whiteboard. Today is an introductory class, and I wanted to show you syllabus. That's why this screen is on. Next time onwards, I will be writing on a whiteboard, and you will be able to directly see the numerical solved on the whiteboard. Okay, we will go like the classroom teaching. Only thing is, you will be at your house, I'll be at my house. Okay, so this is a cantilever beam. In a cantilever beam, how many reactions you will have? In a cantilever beam, how many reactions? You will have a horizontal reaction, unknown reaction. You will have a vertical reaction, and you will have a moment. Am I right? Yes, no?
Yes, ma'am.
So total number of reactions in a cantilever is going to be how much now? 3. And in case of this beam which I have drawn on top, both the sides are hinged. So for a individual hinge, it will have one horizontal, one vertical. Similarly, other side also it will have one horizontal and one vertical. So this is one horizontal and this is one vertical. So here the total number of reactions is becoming 4. In your strength of materials, we have not dealt with beams which have got 4 unknown reactions. We have always dealt with beams which have got 3 unknowns. Either a cantilever beam wherein only 3 direct reactions, or you could have a beam which has got a hinge and a roller. Hinge will have 2 and a roller will have 1. Or a roller and a roller where total number of reactions is 2. So we have dealt with all those. So the definition of determinate and indeterminate structures, determinate word is 3 are the equations of equilibrium which are available with us. Okay. So if your total number of unknown reactions in a beam or any structure, if it is equal to 3 or less than 3, I will be able to solve that particular example or analyze that particular structural element using the 3 equations of equilibrium, that is Fx, Fy and M. If it is more than 3, then we won't be able to get, say I will give you this beam only with both sides hinged, number of reactions is 4. I will give you such some example and ask you to find the bending moment shear force diagram. You will not be able to get the reactions in first place because there are 4 unknown reactions and you have 3 equations of equilibrium. So only up to 3 unknown reactions, whichever beams we have or we have to analyze, those all fall under determinate. And the moment it becomes more than 4, then they all become indeterminate. That is, we are not able to solve those particular examples, or we won't be able to analyze that beam or the framed structure using the 3 equations of equilibrium. In those cases, we'll have to go for different methodologies. Okay, so the structural analysis 1 and structural analysis 2, or analysis of determinate structures and indeterminate structures, are divided into 2 parts now. You will be studying in your 4th semester levels the analysis of determinate structures, and in your 5th semester you will be studying the analysis of indeterminate structures, where determinate means I will be able to find the unknown reaction using the 3 equations of equilibrium. Or other definition could be unknown reactions are equal to 3 or less than 3. But when I'm talking of an indeterminate structure, the number of unknown reactions is going to be more than 3. It is more than 3, and that is why we won't be able to solve it, or we won't be able to analyze that particular beam or a framed structure. So this is the basic concept of determinate and indeterminate. Anybody's got any doubt with this? Because this is the title of your subject. You should understand the title first, then we will go into the depth of the subject. Any doubt with this?
No, ma'am.
No, great. See, there are people who are still waiting in the waiting room. If you join on time, then it will be beneficial for both of us, right? I'll have to keep flipping or else like this. Fine. So that was about determinate. Now, when I tell you analysis of determinate structures is our subject, so what will come to your mind? Determinate means number of unknowns will be 3, or equations will be used is only 3, that is summation f of x, summation f of y, and summation m equal to 0. So I will be studying of all the structures or structural elements which can be analyzed by different methods to find the maximum shear force or maximum bending moment, and these all will fall under determinate structures. So that is your syllabus now, that is your title, or that is what you're going to study in this particular semester and in this subject of 18 CV 42. Obviously these all are connected, interconnected. If you have no strong basics of strength of materials, it is going to be slightly difficult for you in this subject. So I request and I suggest at the same time, please brush your strength of material basics. The paper got over on 7th of April, I think. And I don't know how good you have understood the SOM subject, but it's okay. If you've not understood some things and all also, it's really okay. You can start again. Without that being strong, you cannot go to this. And without understanding this, your next subject, that is AIS in 5th sem, this is interconnected to that. That becomes difficult because this basics is not strong. So basically, your strength of materials is the foundation for all your structural subjects. I'm not talking of other subjects. So there are categories. No, you agree. In civil engineering, we have categories. There is structural specialization. There's environmental specialization. There is highway and transportation specialization, right? So all are different. So SOM is a structure subject, and related to SOM, ADS, AIS, RCC, steel drawing, PSC, these all are interconnected. As a civil engineer, this all is very important. What was your output, or what were you trying to find in strength of materials? Tell me, when I asked you to draw the shear force bending moment diagram, what was that you were finding? Or when you draw, it was your shear force and bending moment, right? What is point of contraflexure? Can anyone tell me? What do you understand by point of contraflexure? You wrote a paper, yeah? Just few days ago. What is point of contraflexure?
Where sign changes. Point.
Where sign changes, okay. Where? In shear force or bending moment or both?
Both, ma'am.
Both. He says where the sign changes in the diagram. Sign changes means
Shear
it
force,
becomes
ma'am.
from positive to negative. Yeah, shear. Okay, Sunil says shear force alone. Anybody else? Any other answer?
Both, ma'am.
Both. Yes, Suraj, both. Anybody else? Okay, correct. All the answers are correct. Where your bending moment or shear force diagram, there is a sign change. Either it is going from negative to a positive, or the positive to a negative. There is a line, no? Whether it is the line depends on what type of load it is. If it is a UDL, you will have a cross line. If it is a point load, you will have a straight line, vertical line, like that. So it depends on the type of the load also. But the moment where the sign changes is called as the point of contraflexure. If I'm talking only for shear force and bending moment, you will always notice where shear force is 0, the bending moment value is going to be maximum. Correct? So that also is a point of contraflexure, or where bending moment is 0, the shear force is going to be maximum. So there also. So all these definitions is acceptable. So that is the point of contraflexure. So based on that point of contraflexure, you are getting to know where the bending moment is more. Okay. Now, diploma students will know RCC. They have studied RCC. PUC students are obviously not aware of RCC. So one basic thing I'll tell you, when I draw shear force diagram, when I draw bending moment diagram, I am getting the values of maximum shear force. I'm getting the values of maximum bending moment. Now, based on this maximum bending moment and maximum shear force, they will be designing the structure. Say we have a beam. All of you have done the analysis of a beam, and you drew, there was UDL, there was point load, and you have calculated the bending moment diagram and shear force diagram you have plotted. From that diagram, I will get one maximum value for bending moment and one maximum value for shear force. That shear force and that bending moment value will be used for designing that particular beam. So if in reality I have a beam with that loading system, then I will use this maximum force. That is, this is the maximum force that is coming on the beam. So obviously I'll have to take it into account and then start designing. So they become the input for our RCC design. Okay, whether it is RCC design or whether it is steel design. That is why shear force bending moment diagram, that chapter, that module, that concept, okay, as a civil engineer is very important till you finish your engineering, if you're doing your master's, if you're doing your PhD. It is the most important, and you should be perfect with your shear force bending moment diagram. So if you have not still understood concepts of it, I suggest go back, take your books. There are ample number of videos available even on YouTube. Our own staff have put it on YouTube link also. So please go through that and keep your basics strong. That will help you to understand the further. Because suddenly if I draw a diagram and I will assume that you know things and I will draw and you don't know, you are going to land into problem. So I suggest you go ahead and keep your basics very strong. And here in ADS also, to some of the elements we will be there are methodologies to analyze, and ultimately we will be plotting SFD BMD also in some of the examples. Clear? So first I will just go briefly with the syllabus. Your subject is analysis of determinate structures. Subject code is 18 CV42. 18 series, CV civil, 4 is fourth semester and 2 stands for second subject. Okay, 18 CV42. Credits and all, it's a 4 credit course, meaning it is an important subject. We will be meeting 5 hours per week. Online is actually not beneficial, but there is no other go. But that is why I said I will be using the whiteboard and sketch pen to write the examples and solve the examples, and the same videos also will be shared to you. Clear? Objectives: to understand the different forms of structural systems. Now, when I say structure, you all are aware of only you remember a bridge, you remember a 3-storied building or a multi-storied building. But other than that, also there would be structural systems, right? There could be a joint of a beam and column. There could be a portal frame. There could be only a fixed beam, free at one end and fixed at the other, cantilever beam. How do I design that? So all are different forms of structural. Then to understand the concept of ILD, that is influence line diagrams, and moving loads. Okay, so you will be here exposed to the concept of moving loads in ADS. Third objective, to determine the slopes and deflection of beams and trusses. So have you heard of the term truss? I want one answer from diploma and one answer from PUC. What is a truss, or have you come across the term truss?
Yes, ma'am.
What is a truss? PUC students?
Roof.
Yes, roof, sloping roof pay, right? Yeah. Sunil is from B division only, no? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody from A division over here who can answer? What is a truss, or have you come across truss? Have you seen something like this in sloping roof? On this they put the sheets and all, right? Yes, no, you can talk at least that much. PUC students, have you seen something like this?
Yes, ma'am.
I think you have in your mechanics, no? Trusses, method of joints and methods of section. Loadings like this on the coming on the truss. Engineering mechanics, I think module 3 or 4, you'd study with trusses, right? So this is a truss. So we will be doing analysis on trusses also. So objective, may I come back to objective? Determine the slopes and deflections of beams and trusses. So we are not dealing with columns, we are only dealing with beams and trusses. And to analyze the arches and cables. What are arches and cables? What are arches and cables? Any idea? You have openings like this, remember? Beneath a bridge. इसके ऊपर bridge रहेगा ऐसे. This would be that bridge structure, and tunnel like thing opening. So this is called as an arch. Okay, so this is called as an arch. And arches and cables, why cables is important? Cable stayed bridges, have you heard? Sorry, have you heard cable stayed bridges? What are cable stayed bridges? You will have cables attached like this on the bridges, or I'll show you images rather. Cables will be attached like this. I will show you some images for this, no worries. So we will be analyzing the arches and cables also. Cable being a tensile force will be present in the cables. Okay. So these are the course objective. Module 1 is introduction and analysis of plain trusses. So this is all about truss, module 1. Module 2 is we will be getting exposed to moving loads. In moving loads, finding the reactions, bending moment, shear force in the determinate beams, axial forces, etc. Module 3 is deflection of beams. There is different method, moment area method, derivations are there and numericals are there, and conjugate beam method, one of the important methodologies again. Fourth one is energy principle and energy theorems. So a little bit of more like mathematics you can see, or derivations are there over here. And module 5 is arches and cable structures. Now if you ask me what textbooks you should be referring, essay 1 or structural analysis 1, the textbook names would be, they have given you some textbooks. These are prescribed by VTU. These textbooks are ready, Muthu KU and Bhavikatti, and reference books are there. Reference books are all sometimes national, sometimes international. So if you get Bhavikatti textbook also is fine and well. Concepts will be clear from there. I will be also sharing the notes, and I will be solving the numericals, and that will be recorded in a day-to-day class whiteboard. So once the video is uploaded, anytime you want to study, you can always view the video back and do the studies. Fine. Or you can have a Bhavikatti textbook with you for reference sake whenever you get stuck. I will be beginning with module 5, that is arches and cables, to start with for the subject. Obviously not today. Today I'll be just doing the introduction part, but tomorrow onwards we will start solving and whatever is required. So now when you see the syllabus for module 5, 3 hinged parabolic and circular arches with supports at same and different levels. So when I say supports, can anyone tell me how many types of supports have you come across? Tell me the different types of supports.
Hinged support.
Hinged support, good. Who is this? You tell me your names also, okay, in between.
Simply support.
Simply supported.
Simply support, okay. So this is a hinged support. Sorry, it's not looking like
Ruler
hinge.
support.
Then you have roller, right? So roller means it will have two roller systems over here. Two will be drawn like this. This is a roller. And then you have fixed support, correct? Any other supports are there? Somebody said simply support. So generally we are using these only, no other than these, simply support these are. So in a simple support, how many reactions are present? 1. Right? In a roller, how many reactions, unknown reactions? In a roller, how many unknown reactions? In a roller, how many unknown reactions? You'll have studied no roller. When you're drawing the free body diagram for a roller, how many reactions you show for a roller? 1 or 2?
1.
1. Great. And for a hinge? For a roller, it is going to be 1. Yes, hinge is going to be 2. For a fixed one, it is going to be 3. Simple support is also 1. So your concept of what type of support is this and how many number of unknown reactions it is producing should be very clear. Okay, first important thing is the concepts of what type of support, whether it is hinge, whether it is roller, whether it is fixed, or whether it is a simple support. This has to be clear. What does a hinge, roller, or a fixed support tell us? Why it is 3, why it is 2? Anybody can tell me? We'll start with the
Oppositions offered.
Oppositions offered. Yes, correct. Any other answer? So this is what type of a support? Any guesses? This is what type of a support that is, this is visible no to you on your screens?
Simply support.
This is a simply support. So how many reactions you will have for a simply support?
One.
You will have one reaction. Correct. In which direction and where exactly is this one reaction? Is it going to be vertical? Is it going to be horizontal?
Horizontal.
Horizontal. Who is that who said horizontal? Who is the one who said horizontal? Anybody else? How many? Okay, how many? One reaction, fine. The reaction is going to be horizontal or vertical?
Vertical, ma'am.
ಈ ತರ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀರಾ ಅಥವಾ ಈ ತರ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀರಾ? Horizontal or vertical? This is your vertical reaction. This is your horizontal reaction. कैसे दिखाओगे? Horizontal ऐसे दिखाओगे कि vertical ऐसे दिखाओगे? Vertical, no?
Vertical, ma'am.
Vertical, no? Correct. Why vertical? Why not horizontal? Vertical answer is correct. One reaction is correct. Tell me why vertical and why not horizontal? So see, simple, I would like to explain. You have, okay. So you have this simple support. Simple support means this beam is simply going to rest over it. If you can see my video also, the beam is simply going to rest over it like this, correct? So when I'm talking of the three equations of equilibrium, what are my three equations of equilibrium? We are talking of horizontal movement, we are talking of vertical movement, and we are talking of a rotation like this, right? So when I place a beam on a support like this, is the beam allowed to move in vertical direction? It can move upward, but can it go downward?
No, ma'am.
It cannot go downward, correct? Why it cannot go downward? Because there is some support over here. It cannot move downward. It can go upward, but it cannot go downward, right? This is the condition of vertical. When we're talking of horizontal, it can move horizontal because on both the sides there is no restriction to it. It can move. What about rotation? It can also rotate. So the only direction it is not allowed to move is vertical. And where it is not allowed to move, that becomes your reaction. This is your vertical reaction. Because it is not allowed to move in that direction, that is why you will have a reaction R equal to 1 in case of a simply supported beam. Okay. Say you take up next roller. Okay. So you usually draw the roller like this. And there are some rollers at the bottom to it. Don't go on my diagram, please. Okay, and this is your beam. Fine. So now roller means what? It is resting on some rollers. I don't have a pen over here. Okay. See, I've placed two pens. If my video is visible, there are two pens which will act as a roller and said this is a beam. It is placed on the roller now like this. So now tell me, is the beam allowed to move in vertical direction?
Yes, ma'am.
Only upward. Downward, what about downward? It can go up. Can it go down?
No, ma'am.
No, because there is some support over here. What about horizontal movement?
Yes, ma'am.
Because of the rollers, it is very easily moving. In fact, horizontal movement is very easy because of the rollers. Both the sides, there is no restriction. Similarly, rotation also is possible, right? Only direction it is not allowed to move properly is your vertical direction, because at the bottom there is some support and then there is roller. It can't move up and down. So that is why when we talk of rollers, the number of reaction in rollers also is vertical here, R equal to 1, because it is not allowed to move in downward direction. Upward it can go, down it can't go. So both I have to check. Whereas in horizontal, both the way directions it is allowed to move. So we have reaction as only one, that is the vertical reaction in case of a roller support. Okay. And then coming next to your hinge support. I draw the hinge. So hinge is something like this. So all of you hinge doors, you have doors at your home, no? Main door, bathroom door, room door, college ke classroom door. Sorry, I did the wrong door. All of you are aware of doors. Now I can't go to a door and show you the video. So a door, when you hold a door and you try to open the door, can you move the door in vertical direction? ऐसे door ऐसे
No,
खुलता
No,
है.
ma'am.
ma'am.
It is like this, no? Door opens like this and closes like this. So say we consider one door which is hinged like this. Can it move vertical?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
Can it move horizontal? Door can move horizontal. It's not a sliding door, no? Can it move horizontal?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No. Rotation is allowed.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. It rotates, no? That is why both the planks are opening and closing, right? So hinge is something like your door. That is why hinges we say. Door is provided with hinges. So what happens in doors is your horizontal movement also is not allowed and vertical movement also is not allowed. These both are not allowed. So the reaction is 2. Both are not allowed. So the total number of unknown reactions is 2. In which direction there is restriction, which is not allowed, that becomes your reaction. It is not allowed in that direction. That's why it is the reaction. That is why your hinge will have 2 reactions. Now, what about your next last one? Which is it? Fixed one. So this is a fixed support. Correct? Something like this. I'm using a mouse and drawing. That's why it is becoming so bad. Like this. Correct? This is a fixed beam. If you can see my video, I'm here holding the pen tight into my wrist like this. So this is a fixed beam. Can the pen move horizontal direction?
No, ma'am.
Can the pen move vertical direction?
No, ma'am.
Can the pen rotate?
No, ma'am.
So all the 3 directions it is not allowed. That is why you will have a number of reactions, 3 in case of a fixed beam, that is horizontal, vertical, and a rotation. All the 3 are not allowed, and hence the total number of reactions is going to be 3 in case of a fixed beam. So this is the basics of from where the total number of reactions are coming. Where it is not allowed, that becomes your reaction. So roller and simply supported, total number of reactions is 1. Hinge, total number of reactions is 2, that is horizontal and vertical. And a fixed will have total number of reactions as 3. These basics are required because the moment I draw the figure, I will ask you to do the free body diagram first. I will not draw the free body diagram. I'll ask you to draw the free body diagram. Say, if because we are an online platform, I might directly draw the free body diagram and start drawing or explaining. For you, it is important to understand why she has drawn 1 reaction, why she has shown 2 reactions, why she has not shown 3 reactions. So you can ask me doubts anytime. You can unmute and ask me. I do not mind, but it is better you come with your basics prepared. So these are your different types of supports and support reactions. So even in cables or when I'm talking of arches, you'll have numerical wherein they'll give you an arch like this, and at the end of the arch, he will give you, say, a hinge. Okay, like this. One would be hinged and one would be roller, something like this. Okay, assume that that is a roller now. So something like this, you will get a numerical. When we read the syllabus of a fifth module, that is arches and cables, 3 hinged parabolic and circular arches with support at same level and support at different level. Meaning these both are at same level now. So this is support at same level. If I draw arch like this, so both are at different levels, no? So this is support at different level. So he'll give you the support. You have to draw the free body diagram for this and start solving. So I will, for me, what, because you have done strength of materials, I will directly draw the free body diagram and I'll start, right? So for you, it is important. First 2-3 examples I might explain, still I will explain. Anytime you can unmute and tell me that, madam, we didn't understand, please explain, I will explain. So it is important you have the basics of what are the different types of supports and how and when it should be used. Okay, so tomorrow we have a class 3 to 5 afternoon. Do not eat too much of lunch and sit, you will start sleeping. You will join the meeting and you'll sleep off. I'm sure of that. So please see that you don't eat heavy lunch. Please, I'm saying. And sit with your books. If I suggest, if you have a laptop at home or system at home and wherein internet connection is there, sit with it, because I will be solving it, you will be able to see and you can solve it too. That would be always better. We do not know how long the online classes are going to run, and say after, like, you have seen how much pressurized you people got during the exam days, because for offline, yes, agreed, diploma people had offline classes, they had a different kind of pressure. But the other third division, third semester A division, you are aware of uh, how it was difficult for you to cope up with the online teaching and then studying and writing the examinations, right? So don't do that. Don't aim at only passing. I suggest, see that you score well. And for scoring well, you have to put in your efforts also. So make notes, refer the videos. Okay, you are not able to sit and listen and write at the same time. You listen to the class when I am taking the class. You sit to the calculator at least and give me answers when I'm solving. That would also be sufficient with that. I will be posting the same videos in your JCE Connect. There you can anytime switch over, refer to the video and make your notes. Solve it once. Don't keep it piled up or pending till the last. Okay. See that you do on daily basis some kind of some study, some subject. If not all, at least one subject you do. And especially when you know which subjects are difficult, right? So you have maths also, I think now you have ADS. Again, it is one of the important subjects and some students will find it difficult. You have applied hydraulics, that is a continuation of fluid mechanics. So these three automatically fall into a difficult category. They are not difficult if you solve, but general tendency students feel, how you feel SOM is difficult, similar manner people will feel or students will feel ADS also is difficult. So I suggest brush up your basics, sit with the open mind to study, and I will be asking you to unmute and give me answers, or sit with your calculators, please, because I will be solving. And you have any kind of doubts, you can anytime contact me, ping me. I do not mind. You just tell me your doubt. I can solve it in the next class also, or personally, I can give you a call and also teach you. But see that you clear all your doubts. Clear? Make a different book for ADS and see that you start making notes also. I don't know how many of you are going to listen to this, but you will be at trouble later, if not even exams, as future point of view, I'm telling you. Okay. Do you have any other kind of